Hello, everyone. How are you tonight? Excellent, excellent. Well, welcome to beautiful Brooks Park on this gorgeous Tuesday summer evening of 2025. I am very, very excited to be here. My name is Tom Yaka, and I have the honor of being the conductor of the Harwich Town Band. This is a very special year for the Harwich Town Band. If you haven't heard, we are celebrating our 50th birthday. I'm going to be telling you more about that during the show. Now, we sincerely thank all of you for coming, especially in this heat, and we hope that you enjoy the wonderful music program that we have put together for you. Before we start, we have some thank yous. We'd like to thank Eric Beebe and the Town of Harwich Recreation and Youth Department, the Harwich Highway Department, the Harwich Cultural Council, Cindy Williams and the Harwich Chamber of Commerce, Carolyn Carey, and everyone at the Harwich Community Center, for without them, the Harwich Town Band would not be possible. How about a nice round of applause? I also want to give a very nice, big, special shout out to Jim Fulton and his wife for filming our concerts nearly every week. And so we can see them on YouTube, you can see them on the Harwich channel. So thank you so much, Jim and the Harwich channel. So let's get the evening out to a great start with our theme song by the late, great Milton Adolphus, a West Harwich resident and outstanding composer. And I forgot to bring the lyrics, of course, but I think most of you already know it. So we're gonna sing it, and then we'll have you join in if you don't have. We'll wing it tonight. So here we go with The Harwich is the Town for Me. And remember, the best way to spread summer cheer is singing loudly for all to hear. All right. It has charm, it has grace, it's a beautiful place. Harwich is the town for me. Bogs of berries and sand on the beaches so grand. We live in perfect harmony. San Francisco and Boston have treasures well known, but we're happy in Harwich with treasures of our own. So join in and rejoice, and we'll sing with one voice. Harwich is the town for me. It has charm, it has grace, it's a beautiful place. Harwich is the town for me. Everybody, box of berries and sand on the beaches so grand. We live in perfect harmony. San Francisco and Boston have treasures well known, but we're happy That song, either people love it or people hate it. But I personally love it, so for the next 30 or 40 years, we're going to do it at the first Anyway. So let's get tonight started with a Gershwin Brothers tune from 1927. Here is Strike Up the Band. When I was growing up, I had a favorite television program. You might remember it. It was called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was on the air for nearly 33 years, from 1968 to 2001. It was hosted by a man named Fred McFeely Rogers. He was born in Latrobe, Pennsylvania in 1928. And not only was he the host, but he created the series. He was an author, and he was the producer, and he was also a Presbyterian minister. Now, one of the best things about the show, in my opinion, was the music. Fred wrote many of the songs that we're going to play tonight. Songs like It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, It's You I Like, and of course my favorite, It's Such a Good Feeling to Know You're Alive. I hope you like this new medley for us called simply Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. about another round of applause for the Harwich Town Band? Next up, we have a song by the Beatles from 1965. It's called Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown. It was written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and it features a string instrument called a sitar, played by George Harrison. Now at that time, this was the very first song in Western rock music to feature an Indian string instrument. And if you're wondering what a sitar is, it looks sort of like a banjo, maybe a guitar, and it was used in Hindu classical music. The syllable tar means string, and the syllable sig means three. So sitar means three-stringed instrument. And though we don't have one of those tonight, we hope you will enjoy the Beatles' Norwegian Wood.
You may be able to find one who plays it.
One of our most popular songs for the past 50 years has been Amazing Grace. We are blessed to have three tubas in our band. Tonight, we have Bruce Stott and Bud Gartland, and Dutch Heil, he's our third tuba, and he couldn't make it tonight, but all three of these men are really outstanding musicians. Not only is the tuba probably the heaviest of the brass instruments, but it requires an enormous amount of breath control. This is one of my favorites. Here is Amazing Grace as a tuba solo. Saxophone section, we have 6, sometimes 7 alto saxophones, 2 baritone saxophones, and the alto is the smaller saxophone, the baritone is the larger one. But we also have 3 musicians who play the tenor saxophone, which is right in between. Tonight's special treat for you, our tenor saxophone players behind me are going to play some famous Italian classic opera songs of all time. Now you're going to hear O Solo Mio, La Donna e Mobila, and Funiculi Funicola. Obviously I can't pronounce most Italian words. But here we go. This song is called The Three Tenors, and they're behind me. We have Vince Gamboni, Lisa McMahon, and Corey Russo. Right. 4 beats for nothing. 4 beats for nothing. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. How was that, Annette? Was that okay? Good Italian music for you? All right, good. We having fun yet? All right. Well, now it's time for the Harwich Town Band March Around. But because we're so big and we can't fit on the bandstand, we march around the band. So come on up. People who are young, people who are old, people who are in the Middle Ages. We're going to come up, and this is Beverly and this is Laura, and she's going to give you a little American flag that you can take home. And they're going to march around the band. Come on up, don't be shy. Thanks so much for doing that. Beverly DePolo, she is almost always our march around leader right over there. She lives in Harwich, retired music teacher. She's wonderful. Now, tonight's date is June 24th. And you know what that means in my head? It's only 6 months till Christmas Eve. It's the turning point of the year, so we can start counting towards Christmas, which is only 183 days away. Our next arrangement is a Christmas song and was most famously recorded by Elvis Presley in 1957. It tells the tale of unrequited love during the holiday season. And just to let you know, our July 29th concert is going to be called Christmas in July. And we're going to play all holiday tunes. So if you like holiday tunes and you're around on July 29th, be here, I tell you. And here you go. Here is Elvis Presley's Blue Christmas. Our next piece comes from a series of 8 movies. The music for the first 3 movies was written by the great John Williams, who just celebrated his 93rd birthday this past February. He has won 4 Golden Globes, 7 British Academy Film Awards, 5 Academy Awards, and 25 Grammys. I love this music, and for your information, it's only 129 days till Halloween. But who's counting? Here are highlights from Harry Potter. On December 19th of 1957, this next amazing musical debuted on Broadway to rave reviews. The book, the music, and the lyrics are all written by Meredith Willson. It ran for 1,375 performances, and the recording won a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album, which stayed on the Billboard charts for 245 weeks, which is almost 5 years. And because it's one of my favorites, I will don my special hat, which I'm only supposed to wear at the Chatham Band concert. And of course, the president and the treasurer of the Chatham Band are right there. So, hi Sally, hi Steve. Pretend I'm not wearing this. And don't tell Anita. Highlights from The Music Man. Oh, now I have hat head worse than I did before. Well, we're almost done with our concert. We like to end it with a nice march and then follow it with the Star Spangled Banner. This entire summer, we're going to give you more of the history of the Harwich Town Band. We're going to have special guests. The Harwich Women's Chorus will be joining us on July 22nd. We've also started a new group called the Harwich Town Band Singers. So we have people right behind me who are going to step forward with all their might, and they're going to sing with us a couple of times, which is going to be great. And if you're around, next Monday, the Harwich Town Band is doing a special concert in Dennis at the Dennis Village Gazebo on Monday, June 30th at 7 o'clock. And then we'll be right back here next Tuesday. So here's our march, the Washington Post, followed by the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you for coming. Stand if you're able for the Star Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, your Harwich Town Band. Thank you so much for coming. We'll see you Monday or maybe Tuesday right back here in Brooks Park at 7. Thanks very much. Take care. Stay cool.